from them, and I smothered them with kisses to a fault. But they're going to be with me forever.
Right here.
Right here.
2 young girls killed in a tragic accident. Scout and Chasey Scaravelli's dad shared their story only with 3 News today, how he's going to remember his little girls.
Juneteenth, it's the day we celebrate the end of slavery. We'll explain what it means and how this date was chosen. And a local teacher is working to put an end to stereotypes, and he's doing it with ties.
Complicated, but very worthwhile. How was that?
Dad?
Michael, I'm proud to say, is one of my best friends. I've always said that, so, which is, now that he's an adult, not as a child.
Just ahead of Father's Day, Mike Polk goes head-to-head with his dad to see who knows who better.
And even if you're armed with hand sanitizer and wipes, a common item you may touch every day could spread COVID and other germs to your household. A new tool to help you ward off some illnesses. What's New starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Yes, it is, and pat yourself on the back. We did it. We made it to yet another Friday. Thank you so much for being with us on this end of the week edition of What's New. I'm Jay Crawford, along with Betsy Kling. Hi, Bets. You ready for the weekend?
I am definitely ready for the weekend, Jay, but we have had a very busy news week here in Northeast Ohio, and we're going to get started tonight with a tough story out of Cleveland Heights. A bad accident has left a family and a local community heartbroken. Tonight, for the first time, the father of 2 young girls invited us to their home to talk about it. Scout and Chasey Scaravelli died Sunday when a brick pillar that was holding up their hammock collapsed on them. They were trapped under the bricks. The girls set up the hammock that was connected, as I said there.
I don't blame anybody. I don't blame myself. I don't blame those girls. I looked at it 100 times. I never thought a brick pillar would come down like that. That was never even in my mind.
Well, J.J. Scaravelli spoke only to our Laura Queso. And Laura, their father says the little girls were so special, and he wishes that everyone could have met them.
Yeah, Betsy, he said not only would his girls light up a room, but their entire house. From the inside to the outside, they loved playing in their backyard together. They were inseparable, a dynamic duo, 2 of 4 sisters. Scout, the oldest, her dad said she could write a book about how to be the best big sister in the world. Sweet too, his words. She'd wake up in the morning and cook breakfast for the entire family or unload the dishwasher, just because. And Chasey, she'd make her presence known. Her dad said she could have a minor role in a play, but she was always the star of the show, even if it was her own. The girls were athletic too, sailing a passion of theirs. Both were true go-getters.
There's a lot of pictures out there on the internet with those girls. I'm their dad. I always thought they were the most beautiful creatures, and they are definitely beautiful out. But their real beauty was on the inside, and it still is on the inside.
Today, their dad said to me, "They always made me proud, but they make me prouder now." The family wants to thank their family and friends for unwavering support. Of course, Hathaway Brown and Hawkins schools, university hospitals who gave everything to try and save their little girls, and also the police. They said that the police showed up and they were incredible. And Betsy, you know, today was actually only the second time JJ entered the backyard since the accident happened. The first time was actually just 30 minutes before our interview. He wanted to make sure, he told me, that he could do it. And it was nice, I guess I could say that, because he told me that being there today gave him a sense of peace.
Can't help but tear up. That's a tough one. We'll have more on that tonight at 6, Laura. Thank you. Jay?
Now on to your feed at 5. And first up there today is Juneteenth. That's the day we celebrate the end of slavery. Texas was actually the first state to recognize it, but not until 1980. Juneteenth is not a federal holiday, but there is certainly a movement and a proposal to make that happen. Tiffany Tarpley joins us now. This is a day that not everyone grew up learning about, but it's very important to our history, Tiffany, as well as our future.
For sure, Jay. First of all, happy Juneteenth to you, and happy Juneteenth to you at home. As you said, I don't remember learning about Juneteenth in school. I don't believe that it was something in the history books that I learned from. It wasn't until I became an adult that I truly understood the meaning of this day, the importance of this day. It's important for all of us. As you mentioned, it marks the end of slavery, but most importantly, it's about a day that's specific in time because, as you know, not everyone knew that they were free. It wasn't until more than 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. That was on June 19, 1865, when the last slaves in Galveston, Texas, actually learned that they were free. So today, what's now known as Juneteenth is a day of celebration. It has spread from the South to areas across the country, including right here in Northeast Ohio. This year, Cleveland's historic Caramoo House Theater planned to honor the day with a tribute concert, but that changed after the death of George Floyd and renewed calls for racial justice. A production called Freedom on Juneteenth will stream virtually at 7 o'clock tonight.
We had to do something more important to respond to what was happening in the country, and it took off from there. Because of the climate and the temperature in the country, this Juneteenth is special to me just because I'm seeing so many celebrations.
And so companies, as you know, are starting to take notice, only recently adding Juneteenth as a paid holiday for employees, some companies joining in on this. But for so many, the work does not stop here. It's about learning about our history and also teaching new generations, Jay.
Tiffany, it certainly feels like the movement to make Juneteenth a federal holiday is just a matter of time. Where are we on that?
Well, just today, there are senators, bipartisan, that entered legislation to try to make it a federal holiday. It'll be interesting to see exactly where that goes, how far that gets. But also within that bill, there is a portion where they want to make sure that a group is formed to make sure the appropriate celebrations are happening around the country.
Very good. Tiffany, thank you so much. We appreciate it. A local man is sharing his story of a program that's helping to bring change and diversity to classrooms. Devin Jordan is with the nonprofit Beyond the Game, where he works with young athletes in schools. He's also set up a Guys with Ties program where students get dressed in shirts and ties and learn new lessons each month. Recently, a message from a parent brought to light his own impact on students at Fairless Elementary School.
I was actually the first interaction with a lot of the boys in the classroom with African-American male. Essentially, it breaks down maybe a stereotype for those kids that they can actually, say, hey, look, maybe it's not about the color of someone's skin, but also who is the person.
Such a good message. The program's motto is look good, feel good, do good. Jordan says he hopes to not only be a role model, but to help kids become leaders and stand up for what's right. We're going to have more on this story tonight at 6 o'clock. Bets?
Well, let's take some time now to get you caught up on the latest on the coronavirus. Another high spike in the number of cases here in Ohio. Overnight, 609 new cases were reported. That's down from 700 yesterday, but it's still well above the 3-week average, which has been holding around 436. There have also been 34 new coronavirus deaths reported today across the state. That's higher than the 3-week average. And hospitalizations, that's a big key here. These are the serious cases that people can't recover from at home. Today, there have been 63 new hospitalizations in the state of Ohio. That is also above recent averages. Let's check in now with Laura Queso for some of the other stories that are making news headlines today. Hi, Laura.
Hi again, Betsy. Well, President Donald Trump will hold his first rally since the pandemic started tomorrow. This is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 20,000 people are expected to pack the event, just as Oklahoma has reported its highest number of coronavirus cases. The BOK Center, where the rally will be held, has asked the campaign for more information on safety and also social distancing. The campaign is promising temperature checks, hand sanitizer, and is asking but not requiring people to wear masks. Oklahoma has activated the National Guard to help police this weekend, and a curfew is in place to prevent protests. The Seven Hills Fire Chief says last night's storms created 30 minutes of chaos in the small suburb. He says the winds sheared off trees and power lines in a line from Hillside to Rockside Road. Trees and large limbs fell on homes, causing significant structural damage. Power lines were knocked down and left sparking on rooftops. The chief says there were 3 hours of nonstop calls for emergencies. The department asked for mutual aid from 6 other communities. Northeast Ohio's 2 casinos reopened for business this morning. The Downtown Jack Casino and the Thistledown Racino have similar protocols in place. So now they're operating at 50% capacity, and those playing table games must wear masks. The gaming floor and slot machines have also been moved to allow for better social distancing. And I'll be back with more at 5:30 on some more headlines making news, Betsy.
All right, thanks, Laura. We'll see you then. Jay?
Well, Betsy, we've all become used to it. Part of our new normal now is carrying hand sanitizer and wipes wherever we go. It's all in an effort to help battle off coronavirus. But you may be overlooking a very germy culprit that could make you sick. How often do you pick up a pen at public places like a doctor's office or another sign-in place without a second thought? It's just second nature, right? They can easily transfer viruses and bacteria to your hands. But senior health correspondent Monica Robbins tells us some doctors came up with a weapon to write off that chance.
Erin Hoffman is a germ warrior in her household.
We definitely get our flu shots. We try to keep our house clean, sanitize, and not just everyday surfaces, but surfaces you don't think about, disinfecting light switches, remote controls, iPads, phones.
But one item we pick up daily is easily forgotten and rarely cleaned.
Between 40 and 60% of all pens are contaminated with some sort of bacterial germs or viruses.
In fact, shared pens are found to have more than 46,000 times more germs than the average toilet seat. And you likely pick up pens that dozens of others have touched without a second thought. That's where the Clean Block can help.
It's being wiped and cleaned and dried between each user.
Each swipe eliminates 99.9% of germs in a matter of seconds. Roberts is a clinical coordinator at a Florida cancer center and worried about his patients sharing a pen to sign in for appointments.
For us, a common cold is not really a big deal, but for them, it can be detrimental to their complete health.
The Clean Block costs $20 and is available online. It can disinfect over 1,000 pens before it needs to be replaced, and the sanitizer is 70% ethyl alcohol along with aloe and essential oil. It may help eliminate one more threat during this pandemic, plus it looks pretty cool. But remember, you can always use basic hand sanitizer on your pen to do the same thing. Monica Robbins, 3 News.
Thanks, that's so cool. You hear it all the time. From troubled times come new technology, and that's a great example. Well, next on What's New, getting to be a dad is one of the greatest joys in life. Hear from some of us 3 News dads about what it means to us. And it's been 4 years to the day since the Cavaliers won the NBA championship. A look at what the team looks like now. Hint, completely different. Hey, Bets.
They don't even get to play, Jay. They have been totally X'd out of any possible play. That is not good, right?
Huh?
Let's call it like it is. It's not pretty. As far as your forecast goes, I think things are actually looking pretty because we are going to be starting summer tomorrow and right on time. We've got beautiful sunshine. A few rumblers out there right now. We're going to track these, tell you what is coming in the weekend forecast next.
Welcome back to What's New. Father's Day is just 2 days away, and it's more than just a day for golfing and barbecues. It's also an opportunity to reflect on the responsibility that goes along with being a parent. This year, amid a global pandemic and a racial justice movement, being a father means more now than ever before. We asked some 3 News dads to share their thoughts on what fatherhood means to them.
I've lived long enough for me to see in my daughters the teachings that I gave them, which were the teachings I got from my father. We hand that down.
Being a father to me is really the most important role that I'll ever play. It means that you're playing a big part in shaping and molding 2 young people.
Well, it is my #1 priority. Carries a huge responsibility. It's one thing that I never take lightly.
Being a father to me means everything. I mean, you have the ultimate highs and some very frustrating times. They don't give you a manual when you leave the hospital after you have your children.
There's no instruction map that comes with them. You learn by doing.
Having kids, that does change you, and for the better. Every day, it's just not about me. They come first.
You're never done being a parent. It doesn't end when they graduate from college. They're always going to want advice, and I'm always going to be happy to give it.
It has been a wild ride since March 11th. I mean, what was normal before is completely different now with the pandemic and being in quarantine and being forced to stay home.
If you have kids and you're living at home, your lives have changed big time since March.
We stop by the house and stand 12 feet apart and in the driveway, and we have meetings like that. We have talks like that.
You're never going to get this time back. And being home with the boys and being home with my wife, this time is something that I will always cherish.
For my daughter, during the pandemic, she became a mother for the first time, which means I became a grandfather for the first time. And I was unable to be there because of all the coronavirus concerns. And my granddaughter is weeks old, and I haven't seen her in person. I haven't held her in my arms, and I'm anxiously awaiting the opportunity to do that.
This anti-racism movement that we're seeing, thank goodness for that. I hope my kids learn from this moment in history that it's important to always stand up for what's right, and standing up for justice is the right thing.
Well, the one thing that I would say has probably hit me the hardest is seeing fathers that are concerned about the future of their children. I mean, no father should have to feel that way in America. And this is a pivotal time in history to make change, no question about it.
We have to fight racism wherever we see it. And I tell that to my daughters, and they tell it to their children, and I tell it to you as well.
And what's the biggest lesson I've learned about fatherhood and being a dad these last few months? Do what's best for your family. Be the best person you can be. Treat everyone equal.
It's kind of stepping back and just trying to appreciate the time that you've had.
There's no getting around being a good parent. Stand for justice, stand for peace, stand for love, and love your children, and love your parents.
Happy Father's Day to all dads out there. Dad, lost you 12 years ago. Never stopped thinking about you. Happy Father's Day to you. Love you very much. Betsy, it's 4 years ago today since the Cavs won the championship. It broke the 52-year drought. It was Father's Day, and it made it so special for so many fathers and sons in Northeast Ohio because, as you know, sports is that bond that you share with your dad and with your kids. It was a special time and a very special day.
Well, Jay, your kids love having you as a dad just as much as you love being a dad, so we asked them to send some Father's Day wishes your way. Here they are.
Aw.
Happy Father's Day. So there's 2 of us here to wish you Happy Father's Day. One of us currently has the hiccups. I'm supposed to try to say exactly what you mean to me in 30 seconds or less, which is impossible because I hope by now you know that you mean everything to me. I couldn't have asked for a more perfect father. Everything you've done for me my whole life and continue to do for me, I could never possibly thank you or tell you how much I love you. But I feel very lucky, and I know this little girl is very lucky to have you as a grandpa. We love you very much. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
I wanted to wish you Happy Father's Day, and I guess in your case, now your Grandfather's Day, and just wanted to thank you for all the little life lessons you've taught me, all the special moments we shared, whether it been in sports, whether it been here at home or with school or anything. As I'm getting older, I'm really cherishing and holding on to all those lessons, and I'm hearing your words, I'm hearing your voice during certain times, but I just want to wish you a happy Father's Day. I'm very happy and very blessed I can spend it with you this time. So, and remember, I'm not the uncle, I'm the funkle.
I love that shirt. That is so fantastic. Getting a little dusty, isn't it, Jay? Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a lot dusty.
You know, it's a good day when we both end up crying at some point during the show. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
It's a full day if you can laugh and if you can cry in the same day.
Yep.
And we all certainly try to do that every day. I've been blessed with the best kids in the world. Well, I'm very lucky.
And the little baby hiccuping in the background. Oh, man, does that bring back memories? I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast, everybody. We want to get going as our producers' heads are blowing off right now as we're just chatting away. Temperatures are getting back into the 60s as we head through the overnight hours. Notice that we are clearing out, all right? I know we have some scattered storms that are rumbling around right now. Heavy downpours, maybe some gusty winds coming out of this. You know, yesterday, Seven Hills Independence had a downburst out of one of these very same types of storms. So we are keeping a close eye on things, but those downbursts, especially on this small of a scale, they're almost impossible to see. So as you can see, there is some lightning that's associated with this, and notice how these are not moving very quickly. They fire up, and boy, do we have some gorgeous cumulonimbus clouds building today, but then they literally rain themselves out and then they're done. So we're going to continue to watch the showers to the west of Ashland down to the Belleville area, and then also from right around Independence over into Macedonia and Twinsburg, and that goes right down into Bath and Cuyahoga Falls, Fairlawn, Copley, and then eventually farther south toward Barberton, Clinton Township, Canal Fulton area. So with these scattered showers, yep, they're around. They're beneficial. It's what's happening in Carroll County and then over here in Ashtabula and Trumbull counties too. But it does not look like they're going to be lasting long. Yesterday we were focused on an upper level low in the upper part of the atmosphere that was sitting over West Virginia. You can kind of see things are starting to move a little bit farther east. We're trying to get it out of here. Once we do, it looks like we're going to open up the doors to a series of storm systems that will start to come our way. But there's a little time before things start to get moving. So tomorrow we have a gorgeous day that is on the way. Nearshore waters tomorrow, we're looking for light winds, waves flat. It's going to be a beautiful day to be on the water. Water temp 65 degrees, mostly sunny. 80s and mostly sunny for tomorrow. I think mid 80s will just about do it for much of northern Ohio. Remember, summer starts at 5:43 p.m. Universal Windows Direct Outlook takes us up to 90 for Father's Day. Then we get into that series of storm systems that keeps us a little unsettled through Tuesday. Then finally, we're going to clear the humidity out, get back into that summer swing of things later this week. We'll be right back.
Can you hear me, David? Check, check, one. Okay.
Okay, everybody, here it is, 5:25, and now it's time to check on what has been clicking in Cleveland. Tiffany Tarpley is in for Stephanie today. Hi there, Tiffany.
Hey, Betsy. So I hope you have one of these with you. This is my mask, especially if you plan to go to the theater. Well, the nation's largest theater chain has decided to reverse its stance on masks. So the head of AMC Theaters is saying that now they will require moviegoers to wear masks when they come in, when those theaters open. Originally, the company was going to leave it up to local governments to make that call. Now, any customers who do not have a mask will not be allowed to stay, so have them handy. Theaters are set to start reopening in mid-July, so that is some good news here amid this COVID-19 pandemic. Also good news, of course, we know Father's Day is right around the corner. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Well, we have some ideas for you if you haven't quite figured out that day. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. The first 100 people to buy a ticket for the Rock Hall this weekend can use the code 100DADS to get one free adult ticket into the Hall of Fame. If food is more your speed, that's my thing. Here are a couple of options. So first, the drive-through food fair is taking place in Middleburg Heights. That's tomorrow from 11 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the evening. There is also a tequila, I got excited there. A tequila and taco tasting event at John's Grand Lodge in Cleveland on Sunday. If all else fails, you can go retro and take Dad to the drive-in movie theater. We have a full list of events around Cleveland on our website and on our mobile app.
It's over! Cleveland is a city of champions once again!
I get goosebumps, right? Every time I see it. Today marks 4 years since the Cavs won the NBA championship. It was an incredible feeling, wasn't it? Our team made a 3-1 comeback over the Warriors. Who knew? The team looks a lot different now, though. Kevin Love is the only remaining member from the championship team because Tristan Thompson and Matthew Dellavedova, well, they are about to be free agents. So when you're talking about clicking in Cleveland, of course, Betsy, this is a hot topic today. It's almost a holiday of sorts for Cleveland. People are all reminiscing about that beautiful day.
It's one of those things that the conversations start and everybody has that memory of where they were, what they were doing when the Cavs won the championship. Great times. All right, Tiffany, thank you so much.
I posted my memory.
Excellent. All right, we'll check that out. Appreciate it. Well, still ahead, get ready to laugh. Mike Polk Jr. and Mike Polk Sr. go head-to-head to see who knows each other better. And I would tell you, Mike Polk Sr. is hilarious, too, so watch out. After a couple of months of being stuck at home and working from home, you might be standing in your closet asking yourself, what am I going to wear? Well, our fashionista is here to help us find hidden gems in our closets. We'll be right back.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, a lot of you may already be in weekend mode, and for those of you like us who are still in work mode, it's almost the weekend, everybody. Thanks so much for choosing What's New. I'm Betsy Kling here with Jay Crawford. And Jay, we love to hear good news at the bottom of the hour, so let's hear something good.
We have it for you today. Our Tell Me Something Good segment features an adorable dog. Torado worked for TSA at the Indianapolis airport for 8 years, sniffing out all the things that humans are trying to get into the airport that they shouldn't. So for his last day before retirement, his co-workers made sure he got what every dog wants. As he rounds the corner to get his last sniff, he's rewarded with more tennis balls than he possibly could ever use. I think it scared him at first. He was adopted by his handler and will now spend retirement at home with his family and his 150 tennis balls.
No kidding. They'll be worn out in no time, I guarantee you. That is so cool. Love to see those dogs. They are truly working animals and quite amazing at that. So thanks, Jay. We always like to hear that. Well, now it's time for our top talker. Juneteenth has been around for a long time, but it's not widely known. Well, this year, the well-deserved day to celebrate the end of slavery is getting some much-needed attention. Here's Duke Carter with what this day is all about.
You've heard of Juneteenth, but what exactly is it? You're probably wondering it's probably a day of the week. Well, yeah, partly you're correct. Well, according to Juneteenth.com, Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration commemorating the ending of slavery in the United States. Dating back to 1865, it was on June 19th that the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Grange, he arrived in Galveston, Texas, with the news that the war had ended and that the enslaved, they were now free. Now, note that this was 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which had become official January 1st, 1863. Now, the Emancipation Proclamation had little impact on the Texans due to the minimal number of Union troops to enforce the new executive order. However, with the surrender of General Lee in April of 1865 and the arrival of General Granger's regiment, the forces were finally strong enough to influence and overcome the resistance. So the former slaves, they were pleased with this news from the general. So many left the plantation and went north. Others wanted to reach family members and went to states like Arkansas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. Now, the celebration of June 19th was coined Juneteenth and grew with more participation from descendants. The Juneteenth celebration was a time for reassuring each other, for praying, and for gathering for remaining family members. Now, there's a range of activities to entertain the masses, and many of which continue in tradition today. So you have rodeos, fishing, barbecue, and baseball. Those are just a few of the typical Juneteenth activities you may witness today. Juneteenth almost always focuses on education and self-improvement. Often guest speakers are brought in, and the elders are also called upon to share the stories of the past. Now, prayer services were also a major part of these celebrations. Juneteenth, again, is the day African Americans learned slavery ended.
Definitely a day to celebrate. Well, let's check in now with Laura Queso. She's back in the newsroom to see what else is going on around the country today. Laura?
I'm back as so much is going on, right? Well, Betsy, one of the 3 officers involved in the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor has been fired. We've learned Officer Brett Hankinson was one of 3 officers who burst into Taylor's apartment to serve a no-knock warrant. This was back in March. Breonna's boyfriend thought it was a home invasion and shot one officer with his licensed handgun. Breonna was then shot and killed by police. Hankinson was fired for misconduct. The mayor says he blindly fired 10 rounds inside of the apartment, creating a, quote, substantial danger. A Confederate statue has been removed from its platform in Georgia. A judge ordered it be taken down over safety concerns if protesters tried to topple it. The statue has been the target of vandalism and graffiti as pressure mounts to remove the Confederate landmarks. The National Guard has used a helicopter to remove the bus featured in the book and movie Into the Wild from the Alaskan wilderness. The bus was put there in the 1960s to house construction workers building an access road. Well, it became a dangerous but a popular tourist attraction after the film, which was about a 24-year-old man who died after being stranded there for 114 days. Those are your headlines, Betsy.
All right, and in other news, Laura and I are not coordinating outfits. We both wore red yesterday. We have periwinkle today. We'll get on the right schedule.
Well, maybe great minds think alike.
This is true.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Laura. We'll see you again soon. Jay?
You both look marvelous. Well, that music means it's time to check in on the world of entertainment. Some celebs discuss what Juneteenth means to them, and Billie Eilish was granted a restraining order. Here's Mike Polk with your Daily Pop Break.
Black celebs are sharing what Juneteenth means to them in a new online piece with Entertainment Tonight. Todrick Hall, Ice-T, Ludacris, and more sat down with E.T. to discuss the historic day. Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist actor Alex Newell said, "The day is quite literally about freedom and being free, and opportunity, and hope. And optimism and celebration is the baseline of it all." While actor Laverne Cox said, "Juneteenth is about freedom. It is about emancipation. And I think for a long time, for black people in this country, it was symbolic. Happy Juneteenth, everyone." Billie Eilish has been granted a 3-year restraining order against a fan who repeatedly showed up at her house uninvited. The man, who is from Long Island, turned up at Eilish's family home in Los Angeles 7 times in a 2-day period back in May. According to court documents, the 24-year-old man at one point allegedly sat down on the family's front porch and began to read a book. The singer was granted a temporary restraining order at the time, and the man was arrested and sent back to New York. That is definitely not the kind of fan you want. And last night, several cast members from MTV's iconic show Jersey Shore were subtweeting each other after the Jersey Shore Family Reunion finale aired. I can't believe I missed that. The episode took place at Angelina's wedding, and after roast-worthy speeches from her fellow female cast members, the bride stormed off in tears with her new husband. Angelina said on Twitter that she thought the speeches were funny at first, but she could see it made her husband uncomfortable. And then in a separate tweet, she accused the girls of talking smack behind her back in a group chat and threatened to release screenshots of the texts. Snooki then quoted the tweet saying, "Expose the mean girls, do what you need to do so we can all peacefully move on with our lives." Well, amen to that, Snooki. Okay, I gotta be honest, I was not aware that Jersey Shore was still a thing and on television. That was on when I was in college, I think, and I thought for sure those kids would all be like 50 by now, and I don't understand how they're still partying, but, you know, good for them. Maybe I gotta binge watch it and catch up. I'm kidding, of course. I will never, ever watch that show. But anyways, that's your pop break. Enjoy the weekend, folks. Back to you.
Mike, I don't blame you. And gee, who saw that coming? Drama at a Jersey Shore wedding. What a shock. Just ahead, it's the Battle of the Polks. Mike Polk Jr. faces off with Dad, Mike Polk Sr., and I got to play game show host. See who knows more about the other straight ahead of Father's Day. Betsy, how's the weather looking?
Oh, the weather looks great. I cannot wait to see this polk on polk contest. I just love those two. Anywho, there's a look at the radar. We're still rumbling in some locations. We'll take a closer look at this and, of course, ahead to the weekend next.
Father's Day, just 2 days away. I've always loved it. First as a son, getting that special day to honor Dad and let him know how much he means to you. And now as a father, well, it's like a second birthday. Who doesn't love that? Our very own Mike Polk Jr. has a very interesting relationship with his pops, Mike Polk Sr. I got together with the father and son a few days ago to see how much the two know about one another. Take a look. Well, in the vein of Father's Day, which is coming up this weekend, we want to play a little game here at 3 News of how well father knows son and vice versa. And for that, Mike Polk Sr., Mike Polk Jr.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
In a couple of words, how would you characterize your father-son relationship?
Complicated, but very worthwhile. How was that?
Dad?
Michael, I'm proud to say, is one of my best friends.
I don't think there's a word, by the way, that can describe a father-son relationship any better. If you can say best friend, you're very blessed.
I wish he had said it.
And
We'll put that in post. I guess I would say best friend. See, that'll be seamless.
First question. What is Mike Sr.'s favorite band? Van Morrison.
Oh,
okay.
I don't consider that a band.
Okay.
Right.
The Beatles.
I almost had Beatles. Darn it.
What did Mike Jr. want to be when he was growing up? Go ahead and show us your
I
answer.
just wrote cowboy. That's what he wanted to be when he grew up.
Want to be a cowboy? That's not, that's not a real good living these days.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
really not. I mean, I said I wanted to be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns.
Well, I remember that.
And neither has come true yet.
Yet. Who is Mike Sr.'s favorite child?
My father's favorite child, as he will respond, is a tie out of necessity. That's what he will say.
He loves all three the same.
I put down depends on who I'm with.
So,
I think that qualifies as a match.
I think that's a correct answer.
I think that works. Who was Mike Jr.'s first girlfriend?
Amy Rossi.
Amy Rossi. Oh, we have a match.
Who was it, really?
Congratulations.
In fairness, I feel like Kendra Bailey and I were kind of an item in 7th grade.
What was Mike Jr.'s first job?
He was a delivery driver.
Delivery driver, furniture delivery.
Yes.
For the family business?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it's actually referred to as child labor.
Who is Dad's hero or celebrity icon?
Grandpa Kelly.
Grandpa Kelly? Grandpa Kelly.
That's a match.
Grandpa was an orphan. Never had anything, but taught me how to enjoy life. I mean, he never had a dime to his name, but he taught me how to enjoy life.
What is your favorite thing to do together?
It's going to make me sound awfully boring.
Just sitting and talking. I think that qualifies as a match.
He has a lot of insight, and I still learn a lot from him every time we chat.
Well, I think our takeaway here is this: you guys are the model for what a father and son relationship should be.
I don't know if that's completely true.
Yeah, that's kind of scary if it
Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Happy Father's Day. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with both father and son. Mike Jr. makes me laugh like no other, but I really enjoy the company of his father. I've had the luxury to meet him a couple of times now, and every time I'm with him, I feel like I'm smarter when I walk away. He's a man with a lot of wisdom. Beth.
Yep. And they're
of
very fun to be with individually, and they're even more fun to be with when they're together. You can just kind of sit back and eat popcorn and watch the two of them go back and forth. They could have their own show. Just that good.
So true. Hey, Betsy, I was dancing in my driveway earlier this afternoon because for about 10 minutes, we got a pretty good rain here. It was a nice, steady rain. It didn't drench everything, but it was needed.
Yep. Little summertime pop-up love and shower. Just no problem with that. We need the rain right now, and not everybody has been getting it. If you still have plans to try and get outside, the rain showers are hit or miss. This is the perfect time to make sure you have our WKYC app. We have our interactive radar right inside of it, and you can see the radar at any time right there in the palm of your hand as you make your plans. You're out and about. So we do have sunshine and storms. Temperatures are going to be holding here in the 70s. We're in the upper 70s to right around 80 right now. It's a little cooler with that lake breeze coming in on the lakeshore. Tomorrow will be more of the same. We'll be a little bit cooler, closer to the lake. That same lake breeze is kind of helping to suppress a lot of the action as far as the rain and storms goes farther to the south. Rain is fading fast as it heads down past Belleville and down to the Mount Vernon area. We've got a new shower that's going pretty good here out by Reminderville and Twinsburg area up here in northern sections of Summit County. And that's right along 271 and Route 8. And then you kind of get up up into Oakwood Village here, so we do have some showers that are going on. That is moving south, though, very slowly, so heads up if you're down in the Cuyahoga Valley. You know somebody who's down in the Cuyahoga Valley in Cuyahoga Falls. They'll probably run into a few of those showers. We're going to go east now toward Middlefield and Parkman, and then kind of up into the southwest corner of Ashtabula County out around the Orwell area. You can see this heavy shower. This, too, is kind of fading to the south. We've got quite a bit of lightning on this one. Lightning is probably going to be the biggest danger out of these thunderstorms as we go through the evening. Remember, lightning can kill. So if you hear the roar, head indoors. It's one of those old-fashioned sayings, but it kind of goes pretty well with what's going on. And then Jefferson over to Andover, and then straight south into the northern portions of Trumbull County. We have some showers that are going on there too, those thunder showers. The big picture, though, shows that there's plenty more where all this is coming from. Our upper level low is weakening. It's moving outbound. What is left behind, though, is a series of storm systems that has to kind of unleash here. It's got to unkink and start to move. So we will eventually be getting in on some more rain action, but it's going to take its time to get here, likely Father's Day into Monday and Tuesday. Here's your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. We will take temperatures back into the low to mid-60s for the start of the day tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies will greet you. We're going mostly sunny for the afternoon. I really think our pop-up rain chances would be less than 20% tomorrow. Temperatures should be comfortably into the mid-80s across much of northern Ohio, and we're going to stay mostly sunny as we cool back into the 70s we go through the evening on Saturday. Here's your Universal Windows Direct forecast. Mid-80s tomorrow, but we're going 90 degrees. A hot and sticky Father's Day. PM storm chances popping up. More scattered rain and storms on Monday. Tuesday, a cold front comes through. That means storms are likely, but then we're going to clear it out. Less humid air gets in here for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Jay?
All right, Betsy, thank you very much. When was the last time you actually got dressed to go somewhere? For many people, it's been a while. We're digging deep into the closet to find some hidden gems to get you ready to go out again. And our Worth the Watch is interesting. One woman's solution to protecting herself from the coronavirus.
Well, now the businesses are reopening, you might want to venture out again. And if you've been working from home, that could mean putting on real out-of-the-house people clothes for the first time in months. We're being kind of crazy. But instead of running out to buy new summer clothes, Megan Moran from the Style Foundry found us some gems that might already be hanging in your home.
The first thing that you're going to want to look for in your closet that most everybody tends to have is a striped t-shirt. The beauty of a striped t-shirt is that while it may be casual, it can easily be dressed up. So a lot of the times when you're going back to the office or if you're still working from home, you need to look professional, but casual is the side that we're erring on. So by wearing a striped tee, you're getting a little dimension, a little pattern, a little something different, but pairing it with either a cardigan or a blazer and maybe your dark wash jeans to keep it still a little bit more casual will give you that full look without feeling too constricted and like you're too dressed up. The next thing to consider in your wardrobe that can be a hidden gem is your favorite dress shirt. If you think about all the shirts that you used to wear every day when you went to work before this craziness happened, you might have your favorite short sleeve tee or a polyester silk type material top. When you pair that again with jeans, dress pants, depending on the dressiness, it will dictate, the bottoms. But when you pull that out of your wardrobe, it's something you probably haven't worn in a while and it's going to feel brand new again. Not to mention, it's easy to, again, dress it up or dress it down. Pair it with jeans for a more casual look, pair it with your dress pants and a blazer for that more professional dressed up look. Either way, you'll be ready to go to whatever type of event you're going to. The last piece that you can find in your closet that you may not have worn recently is a long necklace. The beauty of a long necklace is that you're able to throw it on again with either that t-shirt outfit or that dressier shirt, and it'll pull the whole look together. Afterwards, if you are just on a video call or you're going in and out of the office real quick, meeting a client, something like that, you can easily take it off and you'll feel more casual with one less thing that you're wearing. These are 3 great pieces to pull out of your wardrobe that you've probably ignored for a little bit, but now that you're able to go out and about, I hope this is a great reminder of what to wear.
The fun part is everything is new again. How about that? Well, you may consider this a cardboard suit. It's how one woman is getting around during the coronavirus pandemic, how she came up with this clever idea.
Hey, what's up, Durwood? It's time for a Worth a Watch. Betsy, a retired nurse in Cuba, did something that I can't see the rest of the prompter for, so I'm sure it was really interesting.
That'd be helpful. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check, mic check, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. A day playing in the backyard turns to tragedy for a Cleveland Heights family.
It's time to wrap up another week of What's New, and we do that with our Worth the Watch. Betsy, a retired nurse in Cuba, got pretty creative to protect herself from COVID-19. Feast your eyes on this. 82-year-old woman leaves the house in Havana. She is ready to fight coronavirus. She puts on this makeshift mobile protective gear. It's made out of cardboard, of course. She bought this at a pharmacy. She used the plastic here to cover the face opening. Personal protective equipment isn't sold in stores in Cuba. Betsy, they need your sewing skills. So she made this to protect herself from the virus. She slips it on, then she walks around her neighborhood. She even stops at bakeries and butchers wearing this crazy getup. The best part is she put a roof on it with the message that says, "I'm at home, what about you?" That's a beauty.
Not real good peripheral vision. You know, she's kind of locked into the 180 there. What are you going to do? It's what it's all about, staying safe, right? And if nothing else, she's encouraging other people to stay safe. So if you don't want to wear a cardboard box, wear a mask. It's that easy.
I don't know if that's CDC approved, by the way. I think we're still waiting to hear on that.
She's in Cuba.
That's going to do it for another edition of What's New. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you join us next Monday when we're back at 5 o'clock.
We definitely do. What matters most with